Now, you guys are both real estate agents, correct? Are you an active agent?
So I can talk about that a little bit. I start 2009, long time ago, right? And then 2016, I think that's what you joined when we moved to a new house. It's like so crazy. He lost the income from regular job, and I want to move to a big house. And we just like, are you sure this is gonna happen? So that's when he joined. But actually, it's helping out because it's double the income when he come in.
Yeah.
He actually always help me anyway in the back end.
Yeah.
But he just not have a license like doing thing like showing the house, but he helping with like consulting side.
Yeah.
Yeah, and database work.
How do you feel about it? How do you like the?
No, I'm a licensed realtor in Virginia, but I also have a general contractor's license.
Oh, okay.
And I also have a PMP license.
Nice.
So the value is to clients that want to do buy and sell simultaneously. So there's a lot of segmenting. There's a lot of steps in there. So
Project management.
Yeah, exactly. So everything is sequenced. Everything is ordered. Everything is timed. On the project management side, and then the construction side is really good for when we have buyers who are doing the home inspection.
Yeah.
So I can probably answer most questions in a paragraph than a sentence, or I don't know, or let the home inspector do that. Or even people that are selling house. What particular items here should I fix up that are going to give me my biggest ROI?
That's good for the client that because
So the value proposition is
few years no inspection. So it's like, okay, Glenn can go show the home because Glenn can tell you if this is how much we're going to increase it or is it good.
What a valuable asset for that.
So our value proposition is much more stronger and robust than your typical agent that's out there.
That's amazing. That's great. And you're a professional soccer player.
Formerly, for a long time ago.
Not now.
And
That's
super
what
dad.
Yeah.
Pushing rice.
So, she knew what she was doing when she was making sure she had all her assets and a good partner.
It's the relationships is the most important thing. You probably spend more time talking about the relationship than the other stuff. Because if that's correct, then everything else kind of falls in place and you start to become prosperous in other areas of your life.
You're talking about your relationship
Correct,
together.
yeah.
Can you tell me a little more about that? I think it's a very valuable conversation to have because people don't talk about this stuff until it's too late and they realize they're in the wrong relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I mean, I think it's important for people to realize that if you've ever watched a movie, Jerry Maguire, and you see Jerry Maguire arguing with Tillman, they're back and forth, and they start screaming at each other, and Tillman goes over to him and says, now I feel like we're, he drops some curse words. He goes, now I feel like we're communicating. This is us now.
Wait, we're not started yet, right? Are we started?
No, you're okay. This is cute.
Okay, so I'm just trying to fix him.
So, I mean, that's pretty much our relationship. So even though we yell and scream at, we're still communicating, or what have you. It's the passive aggressiveness that kind of either party or resentment that
depend on
really
people looking
destroys
at,
the
right? Because
relationship.
how many people work with the husband and your spouse and being successful and do all this stuff? It's not easy. I can tell you that it's hard, especially women like me. I like to be independent and I run a lot of things. Come down to real estate, I'm the lead, right? Mm-hmm. So I know what I'm doing. When he start to come in and training, he's like, no, that's not how you do. Don't take the overprice this thing. Don't just go for, the legal commission. No, I have my own standard. No, everything is wrong. So then he doesn't like it because he used to be his own thing too. He's a man, right? He more power. So we have a lot of argument at the beginning. It's just like, oh my God, what can I do? I can't work with you. Go find a job. Even now still. So I can answer that is like saving my life with the business is I have coach. So our coach is supposed to be a business coach. It turned into be a life coach.
Yeah.
And she gave me a lot of things to look into. Hey, you know what? It's not just about dollar sign or he do it wrong. This is it. What else do you appreciate about him to be your husband? So it's looking for the appreciation. What is, without him, can you do all this stuff? Yeah. Will you live without him or something? Oh, we fight all the time. We have like 1 hour conversation with our coach, right? Every 2 weeks. And then she's like, oh my God. And I said, okay, I'm so sorry. So this is what happened. I can't move on to the business until we clear this, and she just like listening. And she's like, okay. this is what you should do.
Yeah, I could get more in the therapy. She's like glossing over all the jewels.
What are the jewels? Give me a couple jewels. So here's the thing, just to give you a little bit of context. I started this business with my now ex-husband, Alimond Studio. So I get it and how hard it is. And we, father of my kids, amazing person. He's got his own video company now. He's kicking butt, respect and honor everything he's doing. But I know how hard it is, especially a public-facing business where you're in front of the camera, in front of people all the time, to be able to really work those dynamics. So I'm actually just selfishly asking you, what are those those jewels of?
So I think it really comes down to co-understanding of the feminine and the masculine. I know this is not an easy subject for a lot of people to discuss. So all my guy friends always say, and I hear it all the time, oh, well, my wife or girlfriend expects me to be a mind reader. They have unrealistic expectations where I have to have a 6-pack stomach and I have to be making $1 million a year and I've got to give them a G4 and all this other kind of stuff. And a lot of that's just listening to a woman vent about their situation in life. It's not that they're not happy with you. It's just that they obviously want more. The guys on the other side, they just want someone to really just be nice to them, and listen to them. So that's a lot of where Gift and I mean, it's the same with every relationship. Even if you're financially independent, you still have those dynamics and conflicts between husbands and wife because of the male-female type of thing. So first of all, understanding that's, really important. Second thing is sharing your base values. So whatever your base values are. So family is really important to both of us. Building a business and having independent kids is important to us. So we kind of move in that direction together, each pulling, or pushing the string depending upon what needs to be done. And then, of course, being successful in business. The other thing that is most divorces is money. So as long as you share the same values around money, Gift's a saver, I'm a saver. She wants, a portfolio of real estate. I want a portfolio of real estate. So we're kind of, those core values are shared, and that's kind of the glue that keeps things together. Then the last thing, of course, is the attraction. If you're attracted to somebody else, then then things kind of blend together. So those 4 items, I think we've got a really good handle on it. That doesn't mean that we don't argue. That doesn't mean that we don't yell at each other or get
big
mad.
old smile.
Yeah. So I mean, but that's kind of the core thing. Now, hashing that out and figuring that out, that's up to each individual, and that's where some people call it the fun, or that's where the conflict comes in. So it's really.
You obviously took notes during all of those sessions, huh?
Sessions? No. No, I just understand the process.
Yeah. No, and you see a lot of husband-wife teams, especially in real estate. And I always do wonder, how is it really going?
Oh,
That's good though, that you guys have your strengths, kind of, who is in charge of what aspect.
I mean, I like to say the difference using the project management vernacular. People stay in their lane. So Gift is clearly the rainmaker, and the face of the company is out there doing networking, and that's all important to keep the engine running. So I don't mind, picking up kids or making lunches or what have you. So that frees her up to be able to do what she does best.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome. And you like that dynamic,
I
right?
like that because he's a good support team. Like I don't have to worry about my kid gonna be with somebody else or somebody. A lot of time my networking event is either in the evening when the kid and him together, and I can stay longer. But if you notice that when I go to networking, I'm not over drinking. I have my purpose. I go there for my reason to go, and I know what I need to do, and then I come back. I always come home. He will know that, all his friends was like, oh, you got a hot wife. That's right. Why is she dressed like that? You know, I heard many times, right? Because he's not on social that much. So it turned out that he's not a jealous person, which I like. You know, he doesn't have to like, oh, I have to report him. I'm here and there. You know, he know where I'm going. Then he just let me be. And then I come home, you know, when I supposed to be home.
Yeah.
So it's
Boundaries.
trust. Building trust is big deal to us. You know, it's a lot of things that I appreciate him. You know, many things that I just like. Well, you know, if I looking for just the rich husband, I don't have to do all these things. But is that gonna fulfill me? Because I like to be myself, you know, like I want to do what I want to do. I have my own goal. I don't have to ask for money if I need to do like charity work or I go to Thailand to help some poor people.
Yeah.
So I know that,
Tell me about
this
that.
is something I just love doing it, you know, because that's how I come from, right? I grew up very poor. In the village, it's like so olden day. I appreciate many things in my life, like it's transition, you know. I think what I did is universe seeing that is like, okay, I'm here for a reason, to help more people, to do more what I do good at, and to give it back.
When she said village, it's dirt roads, and the water is from a cistern at the top of the hill.
Yeah.
Her house is at the bottom of the hill, so the water actually could get used before
No, we
you
just
actually
pump
can
it up.
take-
So it's
before you can actually take
so
a shower or whatever.
yeah, it's like
So it's really
it's
Have you been there?
Oh, yeah.
To visit?
yeah,
Awesome.
yeah. So slowly we growing, right? So with that, I never forget where I come from, and I really enjoy both sides of Bill. You know, from the very poor, pure lifestyle, just organics, everything, which I don't know about organics back then. Just that's how we grew up, right? We
Yeah.
eat fish, we eat vegetable all the time. I don't know, like we can't really spend money because we don't have. So then now living in luxury life in USA, American dream I can call. So I have everything I need, and I have lifestyle that I want. I become, you know, whoever I want to become. It doesn't mean like, oh, you're 40, you can be model. I still like, I changing everything. It's because I have to say the credit to real estate work, because become realtor is like entrepreneurial, right? So you learn so much. How you gonna grow? You're doing everything between running the business, try to save money, running all your number, and also growing, learning. Every day is running.
Yeah.
So that is my coaching.
In those heels.
Oh, it's expensive, but this is how you improve it. You learn from somebody else already successful before, invest in coaching. And right now, there's so many free coaching, you know, podcast and educational, all other things that you can go for. So that's accumulatively, I start to chip my belief that, oh, when I started 2009, when market is crash, you know, I was like, I start with zero, right? I came from overseas. I don't have any relative except one sister here. And then I don't have any friend. Who else gonna sell for? But I learned so much until I feel comfortable that I have so much knowledge. I'm ready to rock. You know, like we did the flipping, not the first flip until like a couple years after we in the license. But I know everything. I went to the class. I've been to all kind of investment in DMV networking group. So when we find a deal, and everyone just like, are you sure you're going to take this? This is not a good deal, but I see the number. I said, I can do it. So the first deal we did that, remember that the lady died in the house in Woodbridge?
We've seen it all. We've had appliances stolen like the day before closing.
We've
after
seen so
inspection.
much. So that's
This
why,
unfortunate woman passed away in her house, and we had a
In her house?
yeah, and anyway, I can get into the gory details, but that was our first one. And of course, that was a big fight as well too. Oh, we can make this work. I'm just like, no, that's more.
yeah,
expensive.
that's another thing
So
about
she,
this.
She has,
I'm the risk taker.
yeah, she is 100% risk taker, and I'm always like risk evaluation.
Averse.
Risk
Yeah.
emissive. No, not risk averse, but yeah, I evaluate. it.
Okay,
So there's,
okay.
like,
You're not
you know,
ready to
risk and
like jump
reward.
off that
Well,
cliff
to go
so
back to your
quickly.
project management, right? You have you have a
Yes.
sheet, and then you got your risk, you got your opportunity. There's bubble things, and you score each one. So it's more the finances, because I do all the finances as well too. So
Yeah.
she's just like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna buy this house. Okay, give me the money. I give her the money. She's like, okay,
Well,
go-
at
go-
the
go-
beginning,
go do this.
back off a little bit. At the beginning, my income is small, right? Because I'm commission based, and back then, 2009, 2010, it's still bubble, right? I mean, well, market crash 2009, 10, but the loan is still easy to take. So for him, he have a regular job. I said, buy 5 house. Believe me, just buy 5 house. I saw all these deal. It's gonna be good. A house in Sterling is $150,000.
Wow.
In Woodbridge is under 100. I saw all this opportunity. I come home, I'm so excited. I said, Glenn, let's buy 5 house. You can put 20% down on all these 5 homes. He said, no. Let's buy cash and do one house at a time. After you pay off, you go to the next one. I said, oh my God, you know what? That's what we did actually. We slowly bought the first investment property. That's how I started in real estate. So then when we become more comfortable, he know I can do it because not even we closing the deal. When we buy the first home, I get a tenant in right away. When we signing the contract, I remember that's my first investment property. The tenant waiting for the key, we get paid right away, and he's happy. So the next one come in, I got more commission base start to come in. I said, I'm gonna put down payment on, you get the loan. So we start doing this slowly, and it's become another source of income that we built. So that's why.
Can you imagine if she got all 5 at the same time?
Oh my God, you will be like stay home
All
dad.
right, there goes the woman versus the man type of thing. Yes, I do all the time, and I wake up in the middle of the night with cold sweats. Yeah.
So right now, to answer that question, right now,
I know.
no, right now
Like,
he don't even look at the house. When I said, Glenn, this is a good deal. Give me the number. This is what we need. This is what need to be
We've bought
repaired.
at least a half dozen houses
Without seeing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
how I prove him.
Most people.
Proved your worth.
That's right. I mean, how many people have bought houses sight unseen? Like,
Yeah,
not even
not
knowing you got-
very often.
Yeah,
So that's
there's-
the investment side. So
Yeah.
to emphasize that, how many agents are doing what we do, right? Because we in the field, we see what's the opportunity.
Yeah.
We also do it ourselves. We show them. I mean, not the way we do. We don't really just show them. We already in the field, and we slowly correct it. We're building real estate empire, and
Yeah.
that's how we build wealth through real estate. So that supplement our income when we have a downside of like, okay, this year is not a good year. So at least we have some passive income come in. That's what we like to teach client. So
Do you mind saying how much passive income you guys have? Ish.
A lot.
I want to how many? You said you have 6 properties right now? More.
Than that.
So you can tell her we have
No.
10 properties. It's okay. So, but the flipping is like come and go, depends on what
people
year
want to
it is.
learn. People want to learn how
Yeah,
to.
but you can start
how
with
to-
one. Remember, otherwise I'll be late. I have all the whole DMV, but he doesn't listening to me. Otherwise, we'll get that.
But
So,
now you have the knowledge that you could, so it sounds like you do that. You help people as well build their
Yes.
real estate empire.
we have many
Yeah,
clients.
yeah. So Gift kind of nibbled around the outside. It really comes down to, of course, risk and stuff like that. But it really is understanding what you're getting into.
Mm-hmm.
You can't really lose money on real estate unless you're totally just naive and
Explain to her why, because
So,
people don't
alright,
understand. Let's say interest rate is so
so-
high right now.
so-
Why you say you don't lose money?
So no, I mean, one of the greatest things about the stock market and real estate, and you see these on walls, you'll see the stock market go up like this from like 1967 all the way up, and right above that, just like a point up, is real estate, and then maybe a point down, and then maybe a point up. So what happens is that the stock market and real estate are always tangentially climbing. So the market's always going up, but there's 5 ways to make money in real estate, which people don't realize, especially on the investment side. So there's 5 ways. The first is you get your appreciation every year, and that's tied to inflation. Inflation has always gone up because the government's always spending money. The second way is you're putting a renter in there, so you have a renter who's actually paying off your mortgage, which is a great thing. After time, the inflation also impacts the renter income. So you have a fixed mortgage of $1,000 when you first get in there. Let's say that you're renting the house out for $900. You're losing money $100 a month. Okay, that's a lot of money. 5 years into it, your rents are now $1,500 a month. You're cash flowing $3,000 a year. So those are the first 3 ways. The second 2 are tax related. The first one is let's say you have to get a new roof on the house, or you have to get an HVAC system on the house. So first of all, that is a tax write-off. So all these things that go into actually maintaining a house. The second part of that tax write-off is the actual expense. So we go out to dinner, we drive cars to a place to look at a place, we take a trip to Florida to look at an Airbnb or a VBRO or any of those type of stuff. That now all becomes a tax write-off. And the fifth way to make money on rental real estate is the depreciation. So you have to have a really good tax guy to help you depreciate those big ticket items over time to thus reduce your overall tax liability year by year. So most people, I mean, I've articulated in 5 things. I guarantee you that someone who hears this is who's like a big wig out there, I'm not gonna name names, but they're gonna copy this because I've seen a lot of my materials copied by other people.
So to add it up, sorry, you want to
Just really quickly, do you share this on your social media and your content? Do you put him in front of the camera too?
We can try to put him on camera. He just, try to be. We do educational video on the YouTube
No,
one.
I'm
That's
sure
what
I'll
we do.
hear like Tony Robbins or somebody else going through the same 5
So
things 6 months.
there are a lot, but they want your face because they want local people to hand on to them and help them.
And
right?
he has experience, like he's done it, like he's
Yes.
doing it. He is very well spoken. I think you should.
You should move on
You
more.
should be-
I agree
yes.
with you. I agree with you. He should be on more, but he's like, oh, you do it.
I need another assistant.
Well, once you put him on and he brings in all that extra money, you're going to be able to hire him an assistant.
Well, to add up on the a little bit more in there is many people scared right now, right? Oh, the interest is so high.
Yes.
I let her just rent it because I don't have to worry about anything else, just pay the rent. But guess what? The rent also went up because the inflation, everything is go up, not just the housing. But one thing when you see looking at buying now is you own the real estate. Even though you pay $500,000 today, in next 10 years gonna go up. That's one thing to keep in mind. If you hold it longer, you're always gonna make money. And then you pay down every day. You pay down. Principal go down, go down, go down, right?
Yeah.
The appreciation go up. And then if you just decide to rent, which I told people all the time, so what are you gonna get? You rent in 5 more years, you don't even know the interest gonna go down because nobody have a magic wand to say in 2 years market gonna crash or that. So when you're looking at the number in history, this is not a bubble. This is really is economy.
Yeah,
this
it's
is
not a bubble.
different thing because it's okay. A few years ago we have COVID, but COVID also affect everything, not just real estate. So I always strongly when people looking at out there like, oh, we wanna wait. Think about you wait, you lose your appreciation, and then you pay down somebody else mortgage instead of your own.
Yeah, the
so that's
pendulum
thing.
always swings. So right now
Yeah.
it is 1979. If you look at everything that's going on right now and you take 1979, all the data, the economic data, it is exactly the same thing that's happened in 1979. People are moving money from the stock market into tangible items such as boats and rings and houses and what have you. That's where you're going to, or even treasuries. We've moved a lot of money into treasuries, and that's tremendous right now. So it's just like what's happened in the late 70s. So what did they do in the 70s is what you have to do right now. So it's the same identical market. But the pendulum will
Smart
swing
man.
back.
You got a smart man there.
Well, I trained him too. That's good. He picked up quick. So that's why
He's a fast
we
learner.
love each other because we are in real estate and we believe in it. We breathe in it. We invest in it.
Yeah.
We like to teach more people how to do that. That's how my life has changed, right? Because if I have regular job, which I had been doing
What
before.
were you doing before?
Well, I work for an orthodontist, which I
Okay.
I enjoy.
Of course.
It's depend on the opportunity. After I graduate, that's how we start our life back
Yeah.
then. So after I graduate, I have 1 more year practical training before I go back to Thailand. I came here as a student visa. So then at that time, my sister married to orthodontist, and he's like, "Oh, why don't you become my assistant? We're just gonna open up a new location." So I went take the certified training, like excellent and some other things. So I've been working through that, I would say just until we have baby, right?
Yep.
Until my daughter, right, the first one come. Then I said, okay, I'm going to become something else. I don't know which one yet. My English is bad. What I'm going to do? It's all about what you believe in yourself.
Yeah.
So I tell myself I'm not good at, then I'm not good. But when I shift it, thing it's opened up so much. Like
how did you shift your mindset?
so when I have a license in real estate, I love running. actually 5 days before I have my son, I have license 2010. So I remember that.
Wow.
So then I said, I really need to start thinking about real estate seriously because I started with my daughter, but then I never pursue. So I'm the person that I like to be more confident before I do anything. And I'm slow learning, right? So I go there, take all the class, study. And then I found one class that changed my life. This is Keller Williams have this. Everybody know in Keller Williams it's called Bow. Bow teach you how to look at things different way and also change your mindset. Because we're gonna talk to people all the time in real estate. You can't just go sell to your friend and family. You're gonna running out of that. So how do you add value to other? What are you gonna do to increase your business? So they teach us how to call expire. Expire people meaning the house is on the market that didn't sell with the other agent. So how you come in to be better than the other agent? You have to add value into them, show what you're good at. So how do you talk to them? Right? I got reject all the time for sale by owner calls. So, what are you talking about? I don't understand anything you said. Boom, hang up. So at that time I was so scared, but I forced to do it because in class, right? In the class you have to be bold 100. You have to talk to 100 people, 100 phone call.
That's amazing.
So thing like that. So.
Yeah.
Anything you do is kind of like, if you just still want to be small, you're not going to grow. You do something outside your comfort level. That's how we grow, right? So that's what I learned. And then I start to believe in myself. And in 2015, that's how I start also shipping. I always be a big giver because, like I said, I'm come from very poor. I always want to give. So money I save, I give it to my family in Thailand. I don't want to bother him, and all the stuff. And then I said, look, I go to the gym. I take care of myself, my body and soul. That's how I believe, spiritually and everything physical and stuff. I feel so good about myself. And I said, maybe I should do something different. I'm going to turn 40. So that's how I joined the pageant.
Yeah.
So when I joined the pageant, it's opened up another world.
Yeah.
I didn't win the first time. I know I compete with Elaine. Elaine, you win. You're my friend. Back then, so we compete together. So, but I got a lot of connection through that passion because I met so many amazing people and a lot of, like you, right?
Yeah.
Photographers say, oh, I like your picture. Can you come do this for me? Oh, can you wear this dress? Like start slowly become like, wow, when do I turn into be a model?
Yeah.
I don't even know myself that I'm a model. So I got invited to New York Fashion Week. I got invited to Miami and
So let me clear this up.
Yes.
So in order to grow your circle, just join the pageantry.
One of the things.
Shortcut.
So I will say, dig down to your really who you are and what you want to become and what is important for you, right? So everything you do is a moving toward to your goal or moving you back. Whoever you're surrounding with is going to help you grow. Your mind going to change and shift. Yes, we do have to improve ourselves all the time, but in the same time, you have to put yourself into that environment to help you grow.
Yes.
So I go to many seminars. And I pick up some of other people that, wow, this is a good idea. I'm going to do it. You here, I'm amazed at how you do. You're still strong, beautiful mom. And I always impressed that the way you grow too, into your different business. That is, we all grow together. The more you give, the more you get. So that's what I also believe too.
Add that to the resume, motivational speaker.
It's like, yes, that's just start from us,
Yeah.
slowly. Once you strong, when I say strong, it's like my body and soul, you help people next to you. And I also believe in happiness. I believe in energy. So, you can feel, right? What is the energy you receive? You don't want to be around that energy sometimes, and now we are the, I don't want to say Facebook opened up the world is how can we connect to other people? So we want to be authentic ourselves. So we're not just going to be like, oh, that person, this person, but we don't want to be a noise. We want to be you. And in the same time, I attract to so many people like that they just love me, even though this is English is my second language, but they trust me on the big expense because I know what I'm doing and I'm good with that. Even though I not speak like that, but yet I have a team can help. And now we have AI. We have so many things we can outsource. We don't do a lot of things ourselves, but my job is to make sure my client happy. So that is, yes, important. They call, I got my phone, I resolve the problem. It's a big project, right? So
Yeah. When you have a big project, you got your
Yes.
project manager to help you. No, that's awesome. And thank you so much for sharing your story, the journey, or a piece of your story at least, the journey that you've been on. Before we wrap it up, though, I would love to hear from both of you. What is one huge, either like life tip or business advice that you find yourself repeating to yourself often?
So I can go first.
You have to think about that one.
I just enjoy everything I do. It's come down to your soul. Like, what is meaning to you, right? Whatever you do, what is mean to you? Because we're getting older. When we get young, when we're younger, we can just go with a friend or whatever it is, right? But now it's become like quality. What's the quantity? What do you do? And it's fill your heart, and also helping other people to be better. I would say that is find yourself and do everything align with what you are. And once you align it, you don't have to make different face. It's always gonna be you. So that you're gonna connect to that person, that same energy, put you up and find the right energy and connect to you and send to you the right path. That's what I like.
That's good. She obviously says that often to herself because she had that down pat.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm a very happy person. I'm just enjoy everything I do. Yeah, so I want everybody happy too.
Yeah.
And you.
So she kind of like gives you like the snippet type of thing, and of course, knowing my personality, I look at it the same exact way, but and that's where a lot of our fights come from too. We both say the same thing, but we say it in a different way, which is always kind of interesting. I'm just like, we're not helping each other here. What's going on? So I look at it as appreciation. So no matter whether you agree with me or you don't agree with me, there's this thing called the universe, and there's this thing called, we are kind of our own electromagnetic type of beings. There's electricity going through our brain, so we are definitely connected to the universe. The question is how do I get things to come to me? That's what people always want. And it's actually quite easy, but it's difficult to comprehend. And you don't really have to comprehend it, but as long as you're doing it, and I do it every single day, you just ask thanks, or you thank for whatever you want. So if hey, thanks for this podcast being one of your top podcasts ever. So now that I've done that, I've said thank you, right, to whatever being or God that you want. You've already spoken into existence, because when you give appreciation or thanks to somebody or something, then it's almost as if you've already received it. So then you just let it go, and it's going to go out there, and it's going to come back. So we'll see 6 months from now whether or not this was the best podcast, most popular podcast you ever had, because if you thank for it, then that will actually, the universe will start to churn its mechanism in order to make that happen. But it has to be a sincere thanks. It has to be a thanks that has passion.
Appreciation.
Well, appreciation is thanking at the same time. See, so we say the same thing, but different. See it? Case in point. But the thank you has to be, both passionate, like, part of your being. It has to be heartfelt, and it has to be sincere and genuine. And then that's when things really start to kind of move. And a lot of people think it's kind of hokey, or, maybe outside of their own core spiritual values that they had since they were little. But it's interesting if you try it and just kind of let it go. I mean, I can give you a great example.
It's okay. They can
No,
try it.
this is a great story.
I want to hear that. I want to hear the example.
Mrs. Stanford, okay? Mrs. Stanford, my third grade teacher, came in and said, oh, there was this great study done by Harvard. They started in the 1950s. Now, I'm going back to the 70s now. That's how old I'm an old guy. And she says, I want everybody to write down their goals, because, your top 3 goals, because that's what you're going to achieve in life. So number 1, I put down be a millionaire. Okay. And she collected everybody's. And then, I'm sitting in the, she goes, Glenn, I want you to come over here. And she came up to the, and she said, let's go out into the hallway. She literally took me out to the hallway because I was the only one that wrote down number 1, be a millionaire. And she looked at me, she goes, Glenn, she goes, you have to be practical and realistic with your thing. And I looked at her and was just like, I am being practical and realistic. That's what I want. She goes, I just hope that you're not disappointed in your life. So now here's the amazing part. I said by 50 because back then the retirement was 55. So I wanted to do this by 50. I did it when I was 49.
Look at that.
So here's someone who kind of, tried to prevent me from having this goal, but I had already written it down and I forgot about it until I was like 48 years old. And I was just like, wait a second. I remember writing this down. I'm very close to my goal. Right? So
was number 2 having a hot wife?
That was it. Actually, it was number 2, marry a model. So that worked too.
That's great. And this was actually, I would like to say, the best, if not, it's because I have a lot of guests. When I have feelings, this was such a great podcast episode because you gave and you called it. You said, I like to talk, but he helps fill in the. This was such a great episode. Thank you both for being here on the
Thank you for having us.
Well, thank you for making this, for spread the word, right? You share the love. That's how you share for success and everything. All the story is unique. I don't want people to compare with anything, but I want at least learning from each other. So that's how we grow. So thank to you to make it happen.
Oh, thank you guys.
Group hug.
That's great.